We're glad you could join us on yet another edition of the program Issues with Jide, reaching you on TBC's YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, and BKO is ready. You're welcome, BKO.
Thank you so much.
Like a sore thumb. In fact, this is worse than the popular weekly that refuses to go away. Insecurity is our first topic yet again, and it appears as if there are no more political considerations, because it takes a lot for Governor Ishaku to come out and say Nigeria is sliding into anarchy. BKO, what are your thoughts?
Yes, and his home state is one of the most buffeted by security challenges. On the streets of Jalingo, kidnappers move around. They go into people's homes to yank them off their beds and take them away. And recently there was even the case of a local government chairman that was attacked, and his own brother was trying to ensure that the kidnappers did not escape with him, was killed. So they made sure that they killed their victims when it became clear that they would not be able to get away from the scene. They move around sometimes in dozens, heavily armed, moving from house to house, raiding people, and kidnapping people. So his home state is well known for its peculiar security challenges, the Chief Jukun unending war, in the Wukari area of Taraba state. So he knows where the shoe pinches. And when he said that it's such a shame that the armed forces of our country will not flush out insurgents, I agree absolutely with him. Because the nonsense that that bandits are doing in Niger State should worry any sensible Nigerian. How can bandits be moving around in broad daylight, be operating not at night, not even in the evening, operating in daytime, kidnapping pupils? During the course of last week, vigilantes stood up to them, stopped them from taking away the cattle that they had rustled. And the vigilantes chaperoned the cattle to the police station. The following day, these bandits returned, attacked the police station, sacked it, and took the cattle away. They also occupied the Tegina-Mina highway. For hours, people could not move. Now, if in a state so close to the federal capital, this could be happening, and we've not been able to put an end to this nonsense, it suggests that something is really wrong. It suggests that we have a big problem that we continue to underrate. And if we do not apply the right measures to solving the security problems that we have, it will stay with us for so long and probably bring down the country. Everyone is talking about how Nigeria is slipping inexorably into what looks like a failed state. A failed state is that state where you have all kinds of armed groups, everyone being territorial, taking charge of his own territory, ensuring that not even the armed forces can dislodge it from his territory. We're talking about Somalia, or that part of Afghanistan where the Taliban is strong. That's what it's looking like for us now. And I've been told by a lot of my friends and sources in the north that, look, we are even underrating this problem, that they live with bandits. Bandits operate with reckless abandon in their communities. A lot of those attacks on innocent people don't even get reported. In Sokoto, for example, local governments like Isa, Tureta, Raba, which is the birthplace of the late Amadou Bello, the Premier of Northern Region, they are busting at the seams with bandits, running riot, showing up on market days, attacking people, robbing people of their money or their hand belongings and all that. And you saw what happened, even with the students of Greenfield University that were kidnapped. After about 40 days in captivity, the parents had to fork out about 193 million before these guys were released. They first paid 95 million, only to be told that, look, there's a change in leadership of this bandit group. Now you have to pay yet again. So they had to pay more. Some of them sold their houses. There's a particular parent who sold his house. Now is waiting for the person who bought the house to take possession of the house. He will now go with the little money that he has left. He will now go and rent a place. That's how bad it is in our country. People are selling all that they've got to free their loved ones from the clutches of kidnappers, and then returning to how do I describe? Not returning really, embracing reluctantly a life of ruins. Because if you work for 35 years and all that you saved, you are now compelled to sell all that you saved and the houses that you built. You are with your hard-earned income. You are forced to sell just so that you can save your. Have your children held by bandits returned to you. Then after that, how do you get on with life? A lot of them will die of agony, frustration, mental agony, even dementia will set in. That is how bad our situation is. And the government needs to know that this problem is as bad as a lot of us are talking about. The people lie to Mr. President. The president needs to put them aside now and realize that he's presiding over a country that is being gradually Afghanistanized. So he's got to do something.
Obviously, there's this huge security situation on our hands, even though the government may be in denial. Is this time to revisit the possibilities in those regional security initiatives and perhaps set aside the political considerations that trailed the onset of Amotekun, which was lauded as, a great initiative and solution to the problem of insecurity at the time?
I think that in the fullness of time, every state will need its own Amotekun. In the east, they now have a Bubeagu, although the governors were obviously sleeping on duty, so they are coming up with a Bubeagu at a time when it seems too late. But a Bubeagu will still play its own role. But as we have seen in Ebonyi, the killings have not stopped. The governor goes to the tertiary medical facility and begins to shed tears. This is not the time to shed tears. This is the time to take the right measures. You wasted so much time before deciding. At the point when the Southwest was talking about Amotekun and planning for it, the East should have been planning for something similar. But those governors just sat there doing nothing, and they allowed the security problem to degenerate. Now, talking about Obiagu, at the time when the birds had flown. So what can Ibuagu do at this time? You can see that in Imo State, killers are roaming about the streets. A lot of us felt that the best way to escape being killed on our roads is to simply go and get into an aircraft, go to your destinations by air. But Ahmed Gulak tried to do that, and he was killed on the way to the airport. So no one is safe anymore. And even the governors themselves must know that they are not safe. A time will come that they will go for one of those governors. As you've seen in Igbo, they set ablaze the home of their governor. What would have happened if he was at home at the time? Would they have spared him? So it's a terrible situation that we find ourselves, and we just hope that things will improve.
Hopefully.